Okay, welcome along to another one of our web tutorials. This time we're going to look at how to write a great conclusion, really. What can we do that adds something special at the end of our essays for our Level 1 English, right? Okay, so first of all we need to really consider, just like always really, what is it for anyway? Well, it's one that's providing a sense of rounding things off. An essay is really an argument. You've built an argument to say, look, this is how I'm going to answer my question, and your conclusion is a way of you rounding off that argument, and it's also a way of reminding your marker or your reader what were the key points that you made, what was the question, what was the text. It has featured the introduction within it, what were the main things that you've done in terms of actually addressing that question. But the thing is, if you just do a sort of a formula, a boring kind of way of writing an introduction, a lot of the times a busy marker will only just really give it a really quick glance over, to be honest. So you've got to avoid the yawn factor. Okay? So here's an example. In fact, we're going to work with this question here. Don't worry about the essay at the side here, so I'll show you that a little bit further along. We're going to work around a question here, describe an important event and explain how this event helped you to show an important idea. And we're going to look at the text William Shakespeare's Macbeth for this. Quite often studied at Level 1 as a film or as a play. Right? So let me give you some really useful little tips about what I like to see when I read a good conclusion and one that won't put me to sleep, and that's always helpful. Okay? So the idea is that you finish with a flourish. Right? To be honest, your marker probably won't read it if it's just a simple shopping list kind of essay. It'll get a quick flick through, that's it. So capture their attention. And one way to do that is to give a personal response. Kick off your introduction with a sense of the fact that you enjoyed something about the text, that it was powerful, moving, thought-provoking, challenging, something like that. You can borrow these phrases here. And that hidden down the bottom there, you don't have to have liked it, but if you understand it, the text that you have read will have some degree of power or some degree of interesting crafting or something positive you can say about it. So there's where you kick off. And then in the middle of your introduction, remind your marker there of some of the key points. And if you can, try and connect them to the reason why the text was powerful. Right? If you can't do that, you can't, but if you can do that, it's going to show you you're more responsive and sort of keyed in to understand what the writer's trying to do. And then at the end, kind of showing why you appreciated the text. Okay? And that's just going to end your essay on a really nice final impression to show that you connected and you responded to this text, and therefore, this is a thoughtful kind of appreciation of a text. We're English teachers, we like stuff like that in markers. Okay, so here's an example, right? Shakespeare's Macbeth is an extremely powerful and thought-provoking tragedy. So we've got an opening there. You might notice it's a little bit like the opening of an introduction, title, author, it's got the genre in there as well. It has this real sense here of the power of the text. So kick off there with something that has a response. And then as we move on, this is the key elements of the essay that you've written. You've written about the event, the murder of Duncan. The murder of Duncan creates intense emotional impact. And so again, we've linked it back to the power of the text, emphasising the true depth of betrayal here, and clearly showing how ambition has corroded the morality of the titular character. Just a nice fancy way of writing the title character of the play. Okay? So all we've done here is see, look, we wrote about King Duncan's death, and we talked about how it showed the idea of betrayal and ambition in the way that corrodes morality of the main character. So that was really what the essay was about. But again, we've tried to say, look, it was really powerful, it was really thought-provoking, it was really interesting or challenging. Have that idea of appreciation that comes in there. Okay? And then finally, we'll finish it off with just one last final sentence, acknowledging the power of the text. Okay? So modern and Elizabethan audiences alike are struck by the horror of this scene, which without a doubt gives deep resonance to the key ideas. You just finish with a strong statement about the text and about the argument as well, rounding things off. it's pretty short really, 3 sentences long or so like that. But the key thing I want you to understand and take away from it is if you can go past just having a shopping list of points and bring in an element of appreciation or responsiveness to the text, you're going to finish your essay with much more of a flourish. Okay? So, if you want to think about it visually, sandwich your summary between honest, appreciative comments. Okay? So, the text was really good because of this, I made these points, and this is, how the reader is affected by these ideas, or something like that. A reminder, this material and all of this content here is within the ebook that accompanies these webinars. So you can go back and refer to this again as you practice these essays during the year. It's a journey. It takes a bit of time. You won't get it right straight away, but there's definitely some good ideas that can help you create an essay conclusion that your marker will really appreciate. Okay, thanks for listening. We'll see you again, I hope.